Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
From the window to the wall, we react to the political intrigue, murder, and mayhem of the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. You shall bend thy knee and say it ain't snow.
Oh my God. Say It Ain't Snow is finally back. Holy shit. When was the last time we did a show?
The last time George put the pen to the paper, I think. Yeah. The last time he stared at the blank page and got results.
They took their sweet ass time developing the season, shooting the season, getting the season ready, but we are finally here. We are back all season long. We're going to kick it off today. We're going to start recapping seasons 1, 2, and 3. Next week, we get into 4, 5, 6, but not the recap that you think like, oh my God, I know what happened. Yeah, we know what happened too, guys. But
I've heard some rumors.
Yeah, we heard some rumors that there's some things that happen in Game of Thrones, apparently. But it is important for us to see how the hell we got here. So for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be talking about all things Game of Thrones, getting you ready for season 8.
Crazy 8.
Crazy 8, the final season, season 8. Only 6 episodes in the actual season, so we have to stretch this. We need to work. I mean, we have to give them a reason to pay us.
That's right.
So we basically need to just come in here and do extra episodes just to do it. But we will be back on the premiere night on April 14th, 15 minutes after the episode, as we always do, right here on Gas Digital Network. If you're listening on iTunes, I don't know. We don't even know if we have a promo code. We have new producers. We'll introduce them in a second. But let me introduce, my God, it's a reunion.
It is.
My heart is warmed. And I'm happy, and I'm tingly, and it's James L. Mattern, everybody.
What a
Can
treat.
we clap it up for James L. Mattern? I hear a smattering.
Oh, this is
I hear
wonderful.
A smattering
Oh
of
my
applause.
goodness, I'm turning beet red.
How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful, my love. Things are great.
I wish I could say that we saw each other more.
I think we saw each other once.
We saw each other once.
We're like ball players. I'll see you on opening day, Willie.
But we love each other.
Yes, of course we do.
People think that our aggression during the shows is real. And in the moment, it is real.
I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. It's been so long. I don't remember anything we've ever said on the show.
I don't know either.
I can't remember ever disagreeing with you. I'm sure we have.
We disagree often.
Oh, you're
because
right.
you are a TV-only watcher. I am a book purist, so I obviously know more.
So fun to tease you about
Clearly.
it, too. Oh, I read page 84. And it
Well,
doesn't say that happened. It's
well,
so hilarious.
I can't wait to go through these seasons because there's a few things that I just cannot bear about
wait.
this show sometimes.
This
But
is
I
great.
love this show. I want to introduce our new producers. Howie's gone. I mean, the producers on this show drop like flies.
Well, he went to Essos. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's looking over Marine.
So we won't see him for how many seasons? How many books will
Maybe
it
in
take?
the
How many
spinoff.
hundreds and hundreds of pages until we get a fucking answer about where the fuck Howie is?
Or maybe he's in Slaver's Bay. he had a bad weekend. He ended up in Slaver's Bay.
He's in the one city that Danny didn't free.
Jesus.
He's in the one place that they weren't liberated.
Why was Danny so lazy?
She just didn't even want to do it. She had enough.
Get your
She
shit
had
together,
enough.
dragon lady.
But can we introduce our great new producers? They're not new to you here at Gas Digital. We have Brian and Alex. Clap it up. New producers. Guys, how are you?
What's up? How are you doing? We're great.
Oh, you have to share a mic, huh?
Yeah, we got to pass it back and forth.
Oh my God. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I thought we were thriving.
No, the producers are worthless here. We just have one mic. That's it.
Not to us. But quickly, I want to ask you guys before we get into this. I'm sure, James, you're curious too, because I need to know like what their level of Game of Thrones fandom is. Are we with just two random producers because they're like, well, Howie's gone, Shannon's gone, Bashir's gone. Shannon the Direwolf isn't even here.
Yeah. She's on strike.
She's on strike, apparently. She doesn't even want to go on this show.
She's in the Riverlands, running around.
Brian,
I'd put money on I know how it all ends.
you put money on you knowing how it all ends.
That's my boy.
Is that what he's really saying?
Yeah.
Why do you feel so certain?
Oh, because I'm good at stuff like
He
that.
looks like a fucking Stark.
Right.
Look at his hair.
Brian, you don't even know how to talk to a microphone. I'm not sure if you're going to know
We're
how to...
sharing a microphone.
Look at
I know,
him.
it projects.
Look at this.
Gotta break
you
them
know,
in here.
I'm good at this shit. That's it. I read all the books and I've seen all the shows and I can do math.
Okay.
I can do math.
Well,
I have to say, Brian and I had a Game of Thrones play date the other day for just in anticipation of recording this show. And I never learned so much in my life. Like, it was like a lesson. It was like tutoring from somebody who really knows the lore and like
wow.
everything about the world.
You hear what Alex is saying there, James?
I hear everything.
You're
I
the
drink and
Alex.
I know
I'm the
things.
Brian.
I've
You're
always-
the Alex.
In most of my life, I've been the Alex.
Really?
Yeah. and
Alex
everything.
L. Mattern.
Alex P. Keaton too.
I
but
don't like
whatever.
it. I like James L. Mattern.
Well, that works.
It just fly. Well, guys, I want to hear what Brian thinks is the ending, but I think we need to wait. We're gonna do predictions
Yes.
in our last episode. In 2 weeks, we're gonna do predictions, and I have a feeling I'm gonna win. We're
we'll
gonna make
put
a
money
bunch of
on it, too.
predictions. We'll put some kind of money. We'll
Because
have
there's
some kind
odds.
of stakes.
There's
We're-
sports books taking odds on who's going to sit in the throne.
like there's gonna be a throne.
The-
You
the-
summer child over there.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, they're not taking money on a commission. That's
Well,
not fun.
Wait
I mean,
till it breaks even and they have to give everyone their
Yeah.
money back. Or no, they get a technicality, right?
yes, I don't know.
If it's a draw, you lose your money.
Caesar's Palace isn't like who's going to be the principal council in the South. No one's doing that. Who's
Yo,
going
I
to do
bet
that?
you I could find those odds.
Please, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to need those odds when we do our predictions. And we're going to make our death teams in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And our death teams is we want them to die.
I thought of an interesting spin.
Okay, what's our spin?
What if we do it for a fantasy team this year? Okay. What if we draft death teams for each other instead of you picking it? I
that sounds
pick yours,
fun.
you pick mine, or and you all can get involved too.
We all pick
And we
numbers?
stick each other with people, and you hope that
They
you
don't
give them
die.
people that do die, and that because whoever has the most people alive will win.
So, yeah. So you're hoping that your characters don't die.
That you get drafted, but I'm gonna give you someone I think's gonna
die.
Isn't that more fun?
You know what? That is more
I'm
fun.
a fun son of a bitch.
I like that. Producers, do you like it? Because it's up to you guys ultimately, I
We're
guess.
in.
We're basically having a production meeting on our
Yes.
first 8 minutes.
Well, it's
We've
been
been gone all
fucking
the
a year
time.
and a half, right? When's the last time we did a show?
I told you. I was still a senior in high school, everybody.
I brought Prosecco, guys,
having
because
a
you know
sip.
I like to drink during the show. Even James, let's cheers it. You're very
Ooh,
far
that's
away
my
from
bad
me.
shoulder.
Now we're in the new studio. Look, it's been so long that
Oh, shit, cheers.
it's bad luck not to drink if you cheers.
Oh,
It's been so long, we never even did a show together in this new studio.
No,
and
it's
this isn't
so
even a
good.
new studio anymore. It's like an old studio.
Yeah.
But the mics smell very good, which
This
you've reminded us
microphone
10 times.
smells like how I think like a Stark would smell.
Well, because it's not sweaty as hell up there, so they
It's-
must smell good. They can't smell as bad as people in King's
We
Landing.
might do this game. I might pitch it to you. I don't know if I'm on. The Bay Ridge boys are my boys. I live in Bay Ridge, and they play. We have a game called Fumes or No Fumes about people, whether they smell or not. And me and Chrissy D have been playing Game of Thrones Fumes or No Fumes.
Oh, give me one.
So like the Starks are no fumes. Like now Arya's probably fumes because she couldn't give a shit. She's a tomboy.
It's
okay?
not her fault, though.
Yeah.
She's been having to roll around everywhere.
Rob Stark's no fumes. That
No
dude
fumes.
smells like pure just pollen. Just
And
wonderful.
I feel like he has like pomade in his hair
Yes,
somehow.
come on,
Like
so-
and somehow even in medieval fantasy times he found pomade to like make his
Yes.
hair look the way it does.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that game.
pre-Reek Theon, no fumes.
But that's only because he was trying to be a Stark.
Well, now when but he also was a ladies' man and all that. With no pee-pee, he's fumes. What do you care?
Oh, I mean,
He's reek.
he's reek.
He reeks.
He
Yeah.
has to, and he has no pee-pee.
Yeah. So there you go.
Which was reliving. So okay, let's get
Still
into this.
painful.
We relived the first 3 seasons of the series.
Yes.
And I want to go through them quickly. I took some stream of consciousness kinds
Ooh,
of
I love
notes because I'm a weirdo. I couldn't even enjoy it because I was just taking stupid notes the whole time. But first impression, like season 1, if you could kind of sum up season 1 in a nutshell, what would you say about it?
That everything we thought was important isn't.
I would argue that that's not true.
Well, not everything, I guess, but and I think other people discuss this. They put right from the jump, they put in the White Walkers. Right?
Scene 1.
Yeah,
Scene 1.
Scene 1. And you forget about that scene. It almost didn't make sense the first season. And
Yeah.
then, and you hear hints later, and that's fine. And you don't think nothing of these hints. And then the direwolves. Right from the jump, you realize how important they are to the lore and what this story really is about. And that we get preoccupied with who's going to be the kid. None of it really matters if you think about it now. Who gives a shit?
It never really did. I mean, look, obviously the White Walkers, I think we would both agree that going into this final season, like that's the story.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying these odds in Vegas about who's going to sit the throne. Like, who even knows if there is a throne? Is there a line on that?
There probably is.
Like,
I would
there's no
guess.
throne? That it doesn't even matter?
I would guess that.
Because
yeah.
that should be the favorite, honestly. Right now, that should be a minus 250.
I don't want to get
I'd give that
into
a
it
minus
yet.
250.
But yeah, I would think that someone will possibly get the throne and then say none of it matters and install a government or something or walks away.
But at the same time, I would almost argue that season 1 is the most important season.
Oh, well, of course. It sets the table.
I mean, it set the table for everything. All right, so you find the direwolves. And now you're saying that finding the direwolves was important. Now, as a book reader, I think the direwolves are some of the most important things about the whole story. The show gives two shits about the fucking direwolves. We talked about this a lot. They're all basically dead.
There's a
Who
big
do we have?
speculation.
We have Ghost,
There's a big rumor.
and we
though.
have Nymeria.
Yes.
And that's it.
There's a big rumor, though. I don't know if we want to say this for the...
What's
it's going to
the
be hard.
rumor? I need to know.
Producers, do
I've
we
been-
want this rumor? Should I wait for episode 3? Let's just lay everything on the table.
No.
You
So
talking
big-
about the super PAC?
There supposedly there will be a third entrance in the Royal Rumble at the end, or the Survivor Series. Or War Games, whatever wrestling analogy makes you feel good inside.
Yes.
Is it's not necessarily just going to be the living versus the dead. There could be an army of wolves that our girl Nymeria. Did I say it right? I always say it wrong. Didn't I say Lymeria?
You say lots
Listerina?
of weird names.
Yeah.
often.
Hysteria. She's yo. How cool would it be if a direwolf was named after a Def Leppard record? It'd be pretty cool, man.
Like, it would take me out of the show a little bit.
No, man.
The
Hysteria,
fantastical nature of the
Pyromania.
show.
Those are my favorite direwolves. Rocket. Those are my favorites. So
you're saying that she's the Arya of the wolves.
that she might be bringing an army of them, and they might be just coming out of nowhere. Like, it'd be dramatic if it happened. So they'll be like, so our heroes will be probably in peril, I'm guessing, if this theory comes through. And you're like, oh, shit, man. You're disappointed. We'll be crying in our Prosecco and the pizza, whatever we eat that day, or Chinese food. And then all of a sudden, it'll be kind of like what the old Bill Simmons joke with like Jim Ross back in the, oh, my goodness, that's Nymeria's music. And a pack of wolves is coming out of nowhere, cleaning house like the good guys when they come and save Dusty Rhodes from the Four Horsemen in the 80s. It's coming in there and throwing elbows and hit each other. Wolves be wolf. Sometimes, to quote another HBO show, The Deuce, sometimes a wolf's got a wolf. And that might happen. I'd love to see a White Walker just get fucking munched up by these
You are
goddamn wolves.
False equivalencies here. Okay, so just because some random ass direwolves have been wrangled by Nymeria, I'm supposed to be impressed? Where are my Stark direwolves? They killed them so easily.
they're
As
in
I
direwolf
was watching
heaven, my love.
these 3 seasons,
You're a good Catholic girl.
no, I'm not.
Well, you went to church.
No, I mean, I was Christian.
Oh,
I was never
Jesus.
Catholic. They didn't let us take communion or anything.
Yeah, I refuse to take it.
I never
That's
did it. You
another
were supposed to
story.
be 16 in my church.
What? There's
You
an
have to
age
be
limit?
16. No, you have to be 16 because you have to be old enough to accept it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because they're like, this is stupid. I'm not going to force you to
It
do
looks
this.
like a
unless you
driver's
wanna do it."
license. You got to take a road test.
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Yeah, I didn't do well in my parallel parking, so I couldn't take communion.
My church was like 2 hours long, and I wanted to shoot myself. My mom used to let me read books during church because she just needed to be there.
That's where you started reading Game of Thrones.
I was reading ghost books during church. No lie.
Here's something.
You would
else,
think
kid.
that's like anti-religion, right?
Well, it could be.
Well, my mom didn't care. She's like, get out of bed. We're going to church.
God
Bring your
bless your
books. I don't
mom.
give a fuck. But anyway.
So, okay, so
All right, so I just think that the direwolves, the one thing, like even just seeing the direwolves in the very beginning of season 1,
Yes.
it made me angry because I feel like, I mean, when they killed Summer, what season was that?
it's in season 6, a little episode
Okay,
called
so
The
we're
Door.
I'm already way past the point, but everyone has seen. If you haven't seen the show, spoiler alert.
This-
Why are you
everything's
watching
spoiler
this? Yeah, I mean, Grey Wind dies in the books. Lady dies in the books. That's it. Shaggy Dog
Yeah,
is
but-
off on Skagos with Rickon.
My love, they're
Yes.
past the books, though, now.
Yeah, but Rickon isn't even alive.
Yeah, he's
It's
dead.
just
Yeah, but I mean, they're gearing up towards the end. So
all
at
right.
some point, these were yeah, they're still alive because George isn't going to finish the story. So guess what? In the books, they're gonna live forever. They're forever young because they're never going to be the pages are never gonna come out with their death.
You know, I want to continue, but I just do need to say something.
Yes.
It kind of hit me the other day that we're so close to this final season, and the story, there's going to be a completion to the story, a story that I read as books, right? And I've waited now 8 years for the next story, the next book, and now this story is going to wrap up, And like, what do you do? What do you do when you get the book? The 6th book? We have 2 more books left.
It's not gonna
Not
happen.
one where it's then going to be over. It's 2 fucking books, James. How am I supposed to go through this? Like, and I'm excited, but there's a part of me that at the same time I'm like, this is sad. I'm sad.
This is your completion. It's the opposite. Here's another. Before TV got really, really good, right? This prestige television era we're in now, where everything's the best show ever, and we all binge watch. I was a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I think Joss wanted to do more episodes, and then no one would give it to him, so he wouldn't make comic books, and the story continued that way. It's the opposite. It's very interesting that that show started on the screen and went to the page, and this was a story that everyone was invested in on the page,
But
and
at
now
least,
everyone
he started at the end and then continued. When I read book 6, I'm going back to Dany when she gets captured by the Dothraki.
If it does
That's where
happen,
we are.
But here's the thing.
That's where we
He
are in the book.
probably is one of the reasons why he's probably not putting these out, because he was supposedly close to the last one.
He
printed
says a
pages.
lot of things.
He put out chapters.
I know. Many chapters, and that was years ago.
Here's the thing. Maybe he's now already influenced by where they're going. Because he's, as we discussed, everyone knows this. They had a meeting. They know an outline of where the story was going. He might now want to do his own take of his own story. He might be changing his own story because someone else is telling you how the landing is being stuck before he can.
Sure.
So that's something that's factoring this in with the books taking
Yeah.
forever. In a way, we might get 2 different versions of this story. And if you're
We
disappointed
should.
with how the HBO show ends, then God willing the books come out, maybe that's better. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I think, James, no matter what happens, no matter how the story ends, even, you have broad strokes of a story. Game of Thrones, the series, A Song of Ice and Fire, it's so massive. There's so many characters. There's so many side stories. There's so much history. I don't even know how any human could tie it up, honestly. But there's so many things that have happened in the show that are it's totally different than the book.
Yeah.
So there's just it's like the butterfly effect. You can't change one thing and expect it all to turn out the same in the end. Maybe we'll get to the same place ultimately, but there's a lot of stuff along the way that's just not going to be able to be the same, just strictly because of characters who have changed in the book. In the show, like a certain character doing one thing.
Yeah.
Like back, I was getting pissed off. What season was that? Harrenhal. Season 2? Season 2. Arya was actually the cupbearer for Royce Bolton, not Tywin Lannister.
Yeah.
And we all loved it. We loved
Oh, it was
Tywin
really
with
great.
Arya. It was great.
He doesn't like mutton.
But it's not Roose Bolton. Why am I saying? I'm thinking like MMA. I'm like, Hoist Gracie's gonna walk in.
Royce is I'm going to be honest.
Royce was somebody else.
It's a more handsome name.
Royce.
Yeah. Roose. He is a Roose because he's an ugly man.
He is.
Royce, if your name's Royce, your chest is straight no matter what. You could get scoliosis from the jump. Your chest is just going to be popped out like automatically. That is a proud as a peacock goddamn name, baby.
That is just, Roose.
Roose.
Well, but little
Roose.
things like that, it changes the whole narrative because Tywin coming near Arya makes no sense and it's just like kind of weird in the end. But let's keep kind of going through this. So you say nothing mattered. So
Not
John
nothing.
I'm just
but
gonna
what
go.
we really put value in.
Let's go through some of these things from the
Please.
beginning and kind of work out what doesn't matter. John Arryn dies, right? That kind of kicks everything off.
Yes.
That matters because that ultimately ends in Ned's death.
Well, it's the chain
And
reaction.
Ned's death ultimately starts this whole war because that's when you find out that it's incest babies.
Yes. But once again, that is a domino to what we thought was more important.
It's still important.
The throne.
The throne,
And the throne really isn't the true end game. Survival is the end game. And the fact that this all led to, it's important in the sense that it led to blood spill and we lost resources that we could use for this real big end game of chess that's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing, too. Winter has come,
And
right?
We spilled too much blood.
Winter is here. We lost all of our resources. We ate all our food. We weren't farming. It's just everything is ravaged.
Thank God they did kill people in that sense then. There's a little more food now for everyone else.
At least.
Of wheat and barley.
I mean, it's hard to think about a situation where everyone isn't kind of fucked because then it would kind of make... Like, I don't know how in the end of this story they can easily like wipe out the White Walkers because the White Walkers, it would take away from what makes them such a great villain is that they're dead. They're
Yeah.
undead. It's like, how do you even combat that? It would take away from their villainy, I think. If it was too easy. There's got to be something good. There's got to be
What if they're the good guys?
Well, I've heard that too. What if they're the good guys?
You know, in the
somehow?
book of I Am Legend, the book version of it is that it's just evolution of human, and that the main character that Will Smith ends up playing ends up realizing that he's the legend, that he's the myth. So how do we not know? Also, have you ever read Marvel Zombies? Reed Richards, who's the smartest dude in the world, fictionally in Marvel, he gives, spoiler alert, everybody, I know Marvel Zombies, you might be catching up to this 2004 book, whatever it was. Sorry about
glad
that.
you did that.
Big spoiler. Reed Richards feels that it's the evolution of humanity, and so he infects the rest of the team. And they get furious, but he's like, no, man, don't we want to move on? It's progress.
But that's the progress.
It
though,
could be.
Really?
How do we know it's not?
Well, we don't.
How do we know that their intentions are bad? Maybe your life is better as a White Walker. We just assume because you're dead. But here's the thing. So they're dead, but they're still living.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not really dead then.
Yeah.
We just don't know enough still.
How do we know? How do we know that
We
zombies aren't happy?
Well, let's just quickly say real quick, we don't know.
I don't
I mean,
know.
they're mindless. Mindless
Just
people
wanna
are
eat brains.
usually pretty happy.
Think about how tough your life is having to pay rent and balance your job and relationships. And I'm a single dude. Oh, my God. What's up with this? What are we doing here? Oh, my God. Did I say something that's going to get blogged on Huffington Post? Is my career over? Oh, they haven't confirmed me for this. It'd be so much easier if I was just like, "Arr," and I just wanted
It
to
is
eat a
true.
brain or touch a baby and turn them into another White Walker. What a great life that is.
It
Fucking
really-
simple, dog.
It simplifies everything.
Yeah.
And it's true. But at the same time, the people who are living don't really want to be like, well, it's for evolution's sake. It's just about evolution.
Yeah.
Nobody ever walks into what ultimately becomes our evolution. They have to get wiped out, and then we like, oh, well, it was good that happened because now here we are.
Yeah.
Well, let's just talk quickly. We've gone 3 seconds into season 1.
It's a good 3 seconds, though.
This 6 episodes, this is the run times for each episode. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan watching Say It Ain't Snow right now and you don't know this, you'd be like me because I've glossed over all the preview because I've been waiting to be back with you,
Well, a big
James,
moment.
so I
Yeah.
can do
We'll
this
watch
with
it.
you.
Yeah.
I did see this list though, because how do you avoid this?
Yeah.
You could just put this in a meme, a little graphic on Twitter, and I could just scroll right through. Oh wow! I didn't have to click on anything. Episode 1, 54 minutes.
Do we have titles too or no?
No.
Ooh, yeah. They don't
No
want you to know
titles. Can you guys
shit.
just double check that no titles have been released? I do not believe there's been. Maybe there have been. You guys look at that.
Episode 1, the rise
Episode
of Tito
1.
Targaryen, my boy.
You dropped the Rives, unfortunately. I thought he was a Rives.
Oh, he was a Rebus.
he was a Rives once.
Yo, man. A lot of scandalous shit happened in the
He's
off
over it.
season, man.
He's
The
over it.
families broke up,
It's
man.
all over.
The arrangement.
Episode 2, 58 minutes. Now I'm trying to think of like what the average runtime of the episodes were last year. They would go
They went over 60.
57 over 60.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 3, no, this isn't an hour and 22 minutes. It is. No,
hour
it's
22?
minutes. I'm confused. 122. That's an hour
That'd be
and
an hour
22.
22, I'm thinking.
No, because the finale is 2 hours and it says 120. See?
So it's
this
2
is my
hours and
minutes.
2 minutes, the third episode then.
The third episode is
Oh, that's
an
the battle.
hour.
I believe that is the battle Winterfell.
How do I
Winterfell.
do math on this?
Come here, public school from New Jersey. Give it to me. Give it to me.
If it's 122 minutes,
Holy.
That would be 2 hours and 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
the
If it
third
were-
episode is 2 hours and 2
That's the
minutes.
battle Winterfell.
Oh my god!
But I don't think that's the case. I think it's 1 hour and 22 minutes because over here it's written out 1 with a colon and then 2.
But we know that the finale is 2 hours, and that says 1:20.
Yo.
I need a fact checker.
Why do people
Episode
seek out the
2
colon?
is definitely 1 hour and 22 minutes. Episode 3
Episode 3.
Yeah, but it says 1 colon.
1
I
hour
love
and
that.
22
I've never heard
minutes.
colon this much, not in a doctor's office. That's
Episode
hilarious.
4 is 1
Episode
hour
4?
18 minutes.
1 hour, 18
Episode
minutes.
Yo, the
episode
balls of
5
doing. I'm sorry.
is 1 hour and 20 minutes, and then episode 6 is going to be 2 hours.
The balls of doing a
Okay.
Game of Thrones episode, thank you, on Easter. Like the final season. Someone's going to die, and I'm going to digest.
I know.
I'm going to digest my Cadbury eggs that I'm bringing in.
Is that so that's the second episode
Second
of the
episode.
season? And the third episode is supposed to be the Battle of Winterfell. I
Yes.
did see
Oh my
that the
God,
other
then
day.
These are the ones I might not. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
we'll
my
discuss that later.
lord. Oh my
Whoopsie.
lord. All right. So let's just go through these quickly. John Arryn is dead. Viserys exists. I mean, to think about Dany with Viserys is just weird.
I never even bothered learning his
What
name.
a little twat that guy was.
Oh my goodness,
He
the
was
harsh language.
just, I mean, there's no other word. He was a twat. I've been bringing that word back, by the way.
Good for
I'm
you.
hoping it'll stick. Why don't we say twat anymore?
Why don't we? Probably because we'll get blogged about, but it's okay. Yeah.
Is twat a
Someone's gonna say it.
I'm a
it's
big
offensive,
advocate
yes.
of every word that ends
Wait a
in a
second.
T.
is
Every word that ends in
wait
a
a
T.
second. Time out the show. Is twat an offensive term?
It's
No,
It's not? Is that one of those words that you can't say anymore?
it's an offensive way of vagina and calling. It's usually
Oh my
used as a
God.
woman.
Well,
So
I'm a woman, I can
yes.
call someone a twat.
God bless you, but someone's gonna be like, you can't say that. That's offensive. You're setting us back 600 years, and I can't. I mean, I just can't right now.
I'm a woman.
I gotta pick my
I can't
battles.
say, I'm doing a podcast on Gas Digital. I'm doing great.
You do whatever you want,
Leave
my
me
love.
alone.
I'm just telling you what these
Not
school
you.
nuts are
I'm
doing.
talking
I
to
mean,
the people.
I think it's a free
the
country,
offended
but
people.
you know,
They were shitting real quick.
please.
J.K. Rowling was getting shit the other day. Did you see this?
And she's been a big proponent for the left. Yeah, and
Big
and
proponent
rights, yeah.
for humans. Like,
Yeah.
she's just someone who speaks out for the little guy. She's
years.
been forever.
Wonderful person.
She gave away so much of her wealth it actually dropped her under the second most richest person in England. I mean, that's in the UK, England, whatever.
Well, that's
She-
falling apart too, but we'll talk about
Whatever.
that.
But she did that. And they were pissed off. Do you know why they were pissed off, James?
Why?
Mattern? They were pissed off. She said after Harry Potter, you know, I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Yeah. I know you are.
I wore my Marauders map dress once
Oh, okay.
on this show.
I don't remember.
You don't remember my
I didn't watch them
Marauders
till
map
after
dress?
the show. I watched them last holidays with my then roommates, and I enjoyed them.
I'm talking about my dress.
But I didn't know what it meant then. You could have wore a dress. I mean, if
I
you wear a
talked
dress.
all about it. I wore it for finale night, I think.
Marissa, you keep bringing up things to the show, and I told you I don't
What
remember my
happened? Did
name
you
from the
get-
show. I don't remember you using my middle initial on the goddamn show, and now I'm getting used to that again.
I always use your middle
I don't
initial.
remember. It's been a long time.
Oh
my
my
dear.
God! You know what? It's good we have these three shows, so we could just roll through this But quickly.
Yeah, this is a real roll through right here.
I have information that the last time you guys recorded was September 11th, 2017.
We did on September 11th.
Are you kidding? September 11th,
17.
2017.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the math, or are you gonna be confused because there's no colon?
That's a
It
year
wasn't
and a half.
September,
No, I
colon
don't know time. I'm
11th.
good at math. This is wrong. I got confused because this is 1:20. No one can see that because it's not zoomed in. But that's wrong.
Zoom
I
a zoom.
promise. It's not right. Wow, James, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I thought it was like a year or so. A year and a half. But quickly, I will just say they were pissed off at J.K. Rowling because she said after the series was over that she always kind of figured that Dumbledore was gay. She said that right after the book came out
Yes.
in 2007. This is now 12 years later. And now people are pissed off that she's using the story of a gay man or talking about a story of a gay man she didn't even want to represent in the books. Like, you have Dumbledore is like the greatest wizard of all time, right? He is a god.
When they rank the
essentially.
wizards, he's always top of the list.
No, but
yeah.
he's one of the great heroes in literature. He's one of the strongest heroes in literature.
Let's break down the greatest
and
wizards of all time.
But
Dumbledore number 1, number 2 Merlin, number 3 the Wizard, the Black Sabbath song.
was Gandalf a wizard? I didn't. I'll agree with that.
Just keeps walking. All right.
No, you're
So-
right. But all in all, you have a gay character being one of the great characters. Like, stop being upset.
It's never
so if
enough.
twat is a problem, my whole point is if twat's a problem, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's the,
All right.
the number 4 wizard is Twat the Wizard from everyone's favorite musical.
From Twatville?
Yeah, yeah. To
right.
quote the great Bill Mattern, people need to get jobs. It really always comes back to that. People have too much free time. If you're and work smarter, not harder. You're not helping nobody. Okay? Nitpicking. Done. Let's talk about direwolves.
I know. They really ruined
Let's
that.
talk about my
No. All right, let's go.
my favorite direwolf.
Bran gets pushed out the
Yoshiba.
window. Now, if you want to talk about something that's important from season 1, Bran getting pushed out the window might be the
Huge.
most important thing.
But-
because him getting pushed out the window is what starts everything. That's when he starts seeing the three-eyed raven.
Valid.
That's when he starts.
Starts the war, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
Him climbing, him seeing the
Yeah.
forbidden fruits of a brother and sister.
yeah.
Getting pushed out, yes. So he's arguably the most important character.
Well, I think he is the most
Yes.
important character. I think that if we're gonna sit here and say that the throne isn't important, which I think we agree
it's not
on
important,
right
yeah.
now. Let's see after the premiere how we feel. But Bran has been our one and only link really to that world, to the others, to the White Walkers, to what's going on that side. So I feel that at least that was important in season 1. If you don't think it is,
No, that is.
Needle was introduced in season 1. Lady got killed. Samwell. I gotta say, when I saw Samwell's first appearance, because I was so annoyed about his later storyline,
Yeah,
I didn't even want to see his stupid face.
you're done with him.
It bothered me until he was Sam the Slayer. Once he became Sam the Slayer, I was a little happy about that.
I enjoy him, but if you did a phantom edit of him out of the episodes, I'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like that guy, probably a good hang.
Sure.
The actor, I
Oh, the
guarantee the actor
actor.
and Samwell, I'd like to have a beer with. I'd like to have some brown ale with those guys.
Well, let's cut Gilly out of the conversation because Gilly's kind of one note. She's a little annoying.
Thank you. Well, that's another one that could tie back to the conversation 5 minutes ago too. I'm still bitter about the mansplaining thing of Sam telling Gilly not listening to her because I'm watching the episodes. I'm rewatching. Guys, I hate to break it to you. Do you know why? Gilly could be a man. Gilly could be an iguana. Gilly could be a glass of milk. Gilly's fucking dumb.
Gilly's an
She's
idiot.
not intelligent. And so you have to explain shit. And God forbid a guy thinking that out of nowhere she's Eureka. I'm sorry. What is that? Like she asks stupid questions.
And she's an incest baby.
She's
no?
an incest baby. Look, she had no chance.
It's
dog.
not her fault, but she's an incest baby.
Look, it's like little boy Blue. He needed the money. I can't get mad at him.
I mean,
that's what's gonna happen. I mean, what are we doing here?
Look at the other incest babies. They were monsters. on the other side,
kings, but yeah.
I mean, Joffrey was a monster. Tommen was a
dumb.
fucking idiot.
Was dumber than a
and
dead bedbug.
Marcella was barely even a thing.
Yeah, we don't know anything about her.
Which I gotta say, one of the things I noticed too, in this, because we're doing all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, Dorne. Wow, how disappointing what happened with Dorne.
Yeah, I agree.
Dorne-
I thought about you the whole time. That is something I remembered.
Dorne was when they didn't really get into Dorne in the first 3 seasons, but Marcella gets shipped off to Dorne.
Yes.
And all I could think of, wow, they dropped the ball on Dorne because it's fascinating in the books.
They also dropped the ball in casting in Dorne. Maybe we should wait for that. But that acting, boy, whoever they got in that region, whoever's the cat, that is not Christopher Walken's wife. Was it Georgine Walken? She's like a legendary casting director out here. She was not available for those scenes because there was some. And that one girl ended up being pretty okay in Iron Fist, which is not a good show, but she was all right. She's
What
serviceable.
girl? The main?
One of the 3 sand snakes is
Illyria?
what, Wig?
No.
Colleen Wing.
Yeah, she's Wing in that, and because there's some really horrible acting in Iron Fist. The dude is holy shit. A wet napkin would be better.
even-
Yeah,
no.
Iron Fist was the end of the Netflix action over there. Oh, here we go. I can't see. She's the
She's
one on the
blind.
far right. The one in the middle
How did you
is
even-
atrocious. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, my pussy.
That's my
What'd
girl.
you say?
No, that's the one on the far left.
Oh.
I obviously have a soft spot for her. Let's just leave it like that. I mean, just thirsty in the middle of this story. Just in the middle. That's the dialogue we leave in is wet pussy. What, is she going to end up banging Braun in season 8? Is that the payoff for this?
I don't care.
What are these crumbs that we're leaving?
I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I thought she was
Is
still
she
being,
dead?
I thought, wasn't she, I haven't rewatched 7. Isn't she in a prison right now?
We're not even supposed to be here.
We're not even, yes, this is
You know,
Clerks.
I will say to the audience right now, we are prepping for the premiere.
Yeah.
So there are just things we're not up to yet. And I've kept myself away from it for apparently a year and a half because I've been waiting. I'm not going to waste my time while I have to wait for fucking a year for this. I've been waiting for books, shows.
You've been waiting a lot.
I got lots of other things to do. Now I'm here. I don't even remember what happened to Sand Snakes. I just remember I don't care.
Because they weren't
That's the
interesting.
thing. I just don't fucking care.
And everyone wanted to love them.
And they're so good in the books. Or they have potential because, again, in the books, we're so far behind. They don't even know what's going on with the Sand Snakes. They're like all in different regions and they all are playing some kind of role and you're excited about it. Brian, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. They mentioned.
Thank you, Brian Stark.
Thank you, Brian.
What wonderful hair you have. It's just unbelievable.
Are we going to show him?
Yeah,
All
dude,
right.
he's a Stark. I'm clearly Varys.
Take your headphones off and shake your head
Yeah.
in front of the camera.
Look at that.
I don't. Are you on camera?
Well, here I go.
Shake it.
Look at that mane.
Oh, there you go. All right.
My goodness.
All right. Well, this
Here,
is
let me
why
shake my
Brian's
hair.
here. Laura, can we just objectify Brian for the next season?
Yes,
The whole
please.
season?
Is that what we're doing?
Done. Yeah. He's going to be objectified for the rest
You
of
had
the
to use the
season.
word objectified? Are you going to write a blog too?
This is me being an empowered woman.
Yeah.
They mentioned for
Brian,
the first time.
no fumes.
No fumes.
No fumes.
Alex, no fumes.
No fumes.
No fumes.
No fumes.
Nobody here. Well, I would say nobody who
I'm
comes
no
in here.
fumes. I get complimented for. I put deodorant on my chest.
I'm no fumes most of the time. I would like to think. Look at you.
see
You put
this?
deodorant on your chest.
Yeah, I did it because I went to the other day.
How
I go
does
to
that
the,
work?
You know, I'm going to physical therapy. Well, I'm hairy. That's how it works.
No, I
I
mean, the
dislocated
hair-
my shoulder. I had to go to physical therapy. So I went to the gym first. I walked to the gym because it's in another neighborhood because I'm a masochist. And then I walked to physical therapy on the way back. And the dude's like, "Hey, what's up with your chest, man? Because your shirt's off when some of this is going on." I go, "That's deodorant, dog. Don't worry about it." And
So do you get the clear deodorant or do you get the powder deodorant?
I
Because
get
that
like-
would leave clumps, no? Or like it would leave some kind of.
But it's the cost of doing business. Usually when people notice, it's not like 3 in the afternoon at physical therapy. It's like 3, 4 in the morning, and everyone's been having drinks in a gay old time, or you've been my girlfriend for a while, and so you get that that's part of it. But you're thankful because I don't smell like a homeless
Sure.
person's foot.
Oh my God, real quick, I was on the subway today and all I could think about was how everyone makes fun of me for taking the bus from Jersey and how buses are so terrible. The subway was so packed and there was I felt so sad for this woman. Homeless woman taking up like a whole L
Yeah.
of seats and the whole car. Everyone was pressed up against each other and it reeked so bad. It was like Theon post penis.
Oh.
It was so terrible. And I sat there because I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta get going. So I just kind of acclimated myself to the smell. But yeah, I was thinking about smells a lot today. Is that what my point was? I don't even.
I do when I watch this show think about how smelly most of the people probably are.
They're all smelly.
Like it's.
There is
Flea
no
Bottom.
fumes. There's no fumes.
Let's discuss. Just every time someone eats a bowl of brown, I have to leave the room. These poor sons. God bless my girl Marjorie trying to give these people something to fucking eat.
Marjorie smells. They
Oh, no,
all
she's-
smell.
Marjorie is a flower.
Fumes,
They fart flowers.
fumes.
Remember what the Queen of Thorns said? My girl.
Nobody I mean, she only gets bathed by.
They got all that shit. The rich people, the lords.
Oh.
The 1% of
Okay.
Westeros.
Once a week when they do that.
No, they all got all those perfumes and shit. You saw that. Yeah,
Perfume.
man.
Have you ever had a friend who doesn't really shower? They just.
Oh, I know a
Perfume?
couple
That's
ladies.
not
I
a
know
good
a couple
thing.
ladies who do that, baby. I can't.
Not
I
a
can't,
good thing.
I can't disclose names.
Now that's Marjorie, and you know what?
Sometimes I got.
I will tell you this, James. I know that the Tyrells are your favorite family, but guess what?
They're dead.
all fucking dead.
They're all dead. Oh,
I'm
you
happy
hate her.
about it. I'm so happy
Ooh,
about
I'm
it.
such an alpha from New Jersey. The flower people suck.
Please, the Tyrells are the worst.
Cersei's misunderstood. She's just a good person, man, with her haircut.
Queen of Thorns was the only good
Queen of Thorns is
Tyrell.
the greatest.
She's the only good Tyrell.
Greatest human being ever to live.
I never was happier when until that sept burned to the ground.
Yo.
When Cersei burnt the city to the ground.
I
I'll
almost
never
told you
forget.
to turn the TV off when we watched that
Oh, I
episode.
was so happy.
I almost had to take a walk around Avenue B. I mean, it was serious. It was real serious right there.
I know.
Because I also had them as a plot twist. I predicted they were going to end up making a big move, and
I
that
know.
move was up
that's-
my booty hole.
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I failed, Bubba.
I'm pretty sure that episode, which you wouldn't remember because you don't remember any of our time together, apparently, James.
I'll go back and listen.
But
Wasn't I watching?
I'm pretty sure I rubbed it in your face that entire episode. I
You
don't
did,
remember.
and one of the final episodes of the first season, I was watching the Cavaliers beat the Warriors, and I think I had money on the Warriors, so that was a really tough episode to film.
We did a lot of basketball references in that episode.
My whole life,
I remember
my
that.
funeral will be a basketball reference.
Oh, which makes me think.
I'm gonna be
if
dressed as
you
Robert
are
Parrish.
rewatching Game of Thrones right now, you probably wouldn't be listening to this. But if you somehow are, you can go back and listen to our old episodes and use that as a companion,
Season 6 and 7.
a
Yeah.
buddy to your viewing experience.
A buddy.
Because we're always there for
My
you.
buddy.
All right, we got to move
All right, let's
here. Littlefinger. There was a moment where Littlefinger was already a pervert to Sansa in season 1.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh. He just makes my skin crawl.
He's a hateful
And
person.
I can't wait till, I just can't. Catelyn takes Tyrion as a hostage. It's like, who's Cat? Like, why does Catelyn even? I don't even want to see anything with Catelyn. Lady Stoneheart never happened.
Yeah, it never happened.
I don't care.
So
I'm
mad
very
about
upset.
that.
Are you upset, Brian?
So mad.
It's-
The whole last season, I was just sitting there like, oh, here it comes. She's going to come back and fucking kill everybody.
She
And
would
then
be
never.
logical as someone who would be great, I think, against the White Walkers. And so I want to bring this up. I have no doubt I'll probably be dead when this happens, or an old man. Maybe our kids or grandkids will have their companion show when this happens. They will definitely do a retelling of the books.
Sure.
Especially if George finishes. They'll do another interpretation, and then they can put in the loose ends, which is going to be fine.
I say the same thing about Harry Potter. I hope when I live to see the day when they redo it as like a series.
Yeah.
If they did it like a series, like they do Game of Thrones, they could really do Harry Potter perfectly.
There's so many things like that.
I don't know if we'll see that with Game. We're going to see a lot of prequels and spin-offs and all
30
that
years
stuff.
from now, someone will take the original
Something like
text.
that. But Lady Stoneheart, look, I gave up hope 1 or 2 seasons ago with you. I don't even remember. I gave up hope. But so now when I see Catelyn, it feels so empty.
What if all the loose ends come in at the end to even odds? That would be hilarious. So Lady Stoneheart comes in with the pack of dogs.
She's just Lady
Out of
Stoneheart with
nowhere.
all the dire wolves.
It's the Lady Stoneheart's music. Just comes in. Dire wolves on her back. This is great.
If they pay fan service all
Who else are we
season,
missing?
I'll be pissed.
All the loose ends come out.
Oh, what are the others?
Blackfish comes back because he didn't die on camera.
Well, that's another thing. I took a very, I don't know what I said, but that he is so the best Tully. Like, fuck, Edmure Tully. Ugh,
He's weak.
why are we even looking at him?
One night we will drink, and I will tell you one of the reasons why that word. I mean, there's so many meaning in my old house with that word. It's hilarious.
Ooh.
It's hilarious.
Your old house meaning your family home?
My old
Oh, no.
where I was
wanna-
the Omen. No, my old where I used to live. You know, I live alone now because I'm a grown man. Everybody, I'm a
When-
grown man.
A year
live
and a
in
half
Bay Ridge,
ago,
Brooklyn.
you didn't live alone.
No, I lived with roommates.
Oh my God, our lives
In a
are,
shoebox.
We should just do a whole episode on how our lives have changed
Yeah,
since we saw each other.
Well, unless that gets aired on HBO, I don't think anyone.
Taxi Cab Confessions, which, why are they not doing that? I couldn't tell you.
Because there's 8 taxis left.
Uber fucking
Yeah.
whatever. Lyft Confessions.
Yeah, a lot goes on there.
The Hound versus the Mountain
For
in
a-
season 1.
A second.
We're in season 1. That was a Hound Mountain showdown.
Over the Hound. Oh, that was the Hands tournament.
The
that he didn't
tourney
even
of the
want.
Hand, yes. And wow, the Mountain is just the worst. He is so brutal and terrible.
And that was a different mountain.
an actor.
They got a
wise.
better mountain now.
Well, they've
They've
had
had
three
three,
mountains.
yeah.
The second mountain had little skinny legs.
Didn't make sense.
And I hated him
Yeah.
because his legs were too skinny. And I don't like if you're a big guy, you think you're big and tough, and you have skinny legs. Like,
You and your
get it.
leg shaming.
You're on steroids.
You're part of the
No,
problem.
you just know they're on steroids, or they just keep skipping leg day. You can't just keep skipping leg day.
I don't do leg day. I have natural legs.
But that's because you're 11% Italian.
No, that's the Germans. But we'll
Oh, that's the
discuss that in a
Germans?
minute.
No,
That's the
Italians. My boyfriend's Italian. He's got nice, strong legs.
Germans. I got calves, baby. You can planes have landed on my calves.
Can we see them?
I mean, are we doing this now?
I want to do
We
this.
gotta get 2 seasons.
We
on
can
18
do
minutes.
whatever we want to do. It's our show,
All right.
James. We haven't done
I
this
got
in
jeans
so long.
on.
All
I
right.
don't think I can do this.
All right. You know what? Prepare
At the
yourself for
end,
next
when
week.
You, when
I
you do
want
plugs
to
at
see.
the end. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show my calves.
I
want to
see
the
your
camera.
calves. That's what I want to see. Okay.
Boy, I hope everyone's been waiting to listen to this.
This is a great show.
I'm having a hoot.
I'm having a great
But
time.
we barely talk.
You can tweet us. Are our Twitter handles on this? I don't even know. My Twitter is at the Marissa Rives, Rives, and
At James L. Mattern, man.
Oh, see, you're making it sound like it's weird that I call you James L. Mattern. It's your Twitter handle.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. I don't
Just
know.
doing a great job. I should just added an at
You're
every
the
time I talk
best
to you.
ever. Everyone knows that about
No,
you.
you're the best.
You're up there on that list of wizards.
You're the best.
Banana. Can we play that as
the best
individual?
wizard was a gay wizard, and everyone needs to be like, J.K. Rowling's awesome.
Yeah, I think every episode. So you'll probably you'll handle the hello everybody, and then you introduce me, and then I'll go give it up for the great host Marissa, and then we'll have the wizard playing by Black Sabbath.
Can
I
we
think that should be your
arrange
theme
that,
music.
Alex and Brian? I would love that.
Now.
I've never really.
I had Cypress Hill on at the gym, and I forgot that they sampled this, and so that's why it was in my head. Wait till it
Just
kicks
even
in.
that. Yeah.
Yo, kid, throw a little more hooch. Break it down. Oh.
Yeah, I think this can work. All right.
I'm gonna do a parody where I just talk about gay wizards. He's a gay wizard. Doesn't matter. He can be what he wants. The writer can do what she wants to, as long as she's not being slanderous and hurtful.
Oh, all right. We gotta move. All right. Ned realizes. All right. Varys Viserys gets his gold crown. Ned realizes that the kids are bastards. Ned. I know I talk about Ned a lot,
Yeah.
and God, he's annoyingly honorable.
Yeah.
He really fucked his whole family. His honor fucked his entire family.
Once again, you think he's the big thing, He doesn't last 9 episodes of this series.
No. But him dying is what really...
His values in Jon are a big thing.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's...
We have Arya's first kill in season 1. She kills the stable boy
That's right.
after her father dies. Serial Pharrell, by the way.
I miss him.
What a man.
He's showing up with the pack of wolves and Stoneheart, too.
And then Rob and the Frey. Rob breaks his marriage pact.
Yes. That is absolutely huge.
Another dumb-ass Stark move. And it's funny.
Well, he doesn't break it till the second. He agrees to it in the first.
He agrees. No, I just have Rob promises marriage pact with the Frey. I put that in caps. So he promises it, and I put it in caps because I was so angry because as much as I want to defend the Starks all the time, Jesus Christ, way to make it impossibly hard. Rob was rolling.
Yes. Oh, he never lost a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though.
What?
If you're gonna get killed, and your mom killed, and you lose the war. I've been rewatching. I don't want to be I mean, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And this show's full of absolute.
Who's the most beautiful woman?
Talisa.
Talisa?
Yeah, she's unbelievable. She's charming. She's a nurse. She's a 5-tool player in baseball. She can overthrow the cutoff man and get the guy at home plate. She can hit for power, sabermetrics. It's all like she's a good. So she's beautiful and exotic. You gotta remember this. So you're Rob. You've been in the North, all these Northern girls, you can do it. You're gonna marry a Frey. They're not known for their beauty, except for that one who slips through the cracks in the 3rd season, whatever. But now you see she's exotic. You know how everyone talks about how much they like exotic. Everyone likes exotic. Everyone, what's your type? Exotic. No one says I like a glass of milk. I like both, but it's another story. So, but she walks in. She's from what? She's from Volantis. She's a nurse.
Yes.
She's in there cutting bones and shit, doing her thing.
I don't care.
She's awesome. She's sweet. She's playing with the Lannister boys. Oh, this is a full moon. She's a charming wonder. I mean, I'm going to tell you, Bill Mattern was alive and I brought her home. Bill Mattern would just go, big thumbs up.
James.
If you're going to lose, look at this beautiful woman. And that's the worst picture of her.
That's what I'm saying.
She's absolutely a what in her. And look at this. Look at the pure innocence.
I'm not saying
she chopped a poor soldier's leg right before that picture.
I'm sorry.
She's a catch. She's a wonderful. If you're gonna lose,
Rob,
if you're gonna fall in love and lose everything, you do it for that. Mad at you, baby. So I miss.
If Rob was the 16-year-old boy that he's supposed to be in the book, which he's not in the fucking show, then maybe I'd be like, well, he's just a young
they're all
boy.
16 in that.
No.
The age
well,
has
no,
changed.
no. He's
older.
older.
A boy.
He's clearly older in the show.
He's a boy. He's a boy.
It doesn't matter. You're calling yourself the king of the North. You screw. And then they actually had the audacity.
Ooh.
Now we're moving into. We're done with. Oh no, we're not done with season 1. But even so, he has the audacity. They go back to the phrase and are like, "Well, he got married. Here's Edmure Tully, the worst Tully."
Yeah, why was he still single in that? Why are these Tullys? Everyone's supposed to get married. How come?
Because he's the worst. He's the worst.
The Tullys and the Blackfish just, because he wants to do his thing.
Well, the Blackfish he's just out.
He's your uncle who goes to the bar and just throws. He don't care. Yeah.
He's the uncle who always has something going on. He has a lot of friends and he's at social engagements and stuff. He's single though. He just kind of
shows up with a 21-year-old for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Your mom's embarrassed, but you think it's cool.
Yeah.
That your uncle's got someone who's like your age.
God, maybe if they would
eating
have
cranberries.
Maybe if they would have brought the Blackfish to the phrase, the Red Wedding, which we'll get to shortly, wouldn't have happened. But I guess the most important thing, dragons.
Oh yeah,
Season 1 ends.
That's incredibly important.
With the dragons.
It's bookend.
Danny,
yes.
Can't be burnt by fire. All that, and it's funny, we don't talk about this enough, but the baby element, I know, as a book reader, I've always wondered about the baby element because it's interesting that she was pregnant at one point and now that baby's gone. And there was a lot of stuff around that and it's not part of the story right now. When do you think that's going to be? Do you think that a pregnancy or something will come into this final season?
Well, we think she's pregnant in season 7.
Do we?
Yeah.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure they confirmed that she was
confirmed
pregnant.
I think she's with.
Or it's speculated that she's
speculated.
confirmed that she's pregnant at the end of season.
I got her pregnant minus 250. I mean, I said
and
it
John
weird, like I
got
said,
her
like
pregnant?
Yeah.
Well,
She's
another
having
little
John's baby.
Incest baby?
Don't they have sex in the last scene of the last
That's
episode
what
of season
I
7?
thought.
Cersei is pregnant.
Cersei is pregnant.
We're not talking about Cersei. We're talking
That's
about
right.
Danny.
And we think Sansa might be pregnant. Yo, there's going to be a lot of
We-
dead babies
Oh,
coming.
I can't wait.
It's like an Alice Cooper
Wait till
song.
I start reading all the Reddits because I've been staying away from them because I'm trying to stay away from speculation because I was trying to go into all of this fresh. Clearly, I can't do that because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. So I'm gonna go read all the speculation, and I'm gonna tell you if I agree
Speculation.
or not. But I don't remember. And you, Alex, you just marathoned 2 seasons. Am I correct, Alex?
Yeah, I hadn't watched season 6 or 7, so I was like 2 years out of Game of
Did a
Thrones.
thing, yo.
And then I watched those like 25-minute recaps of the first 5 seasons on YouTube, and then banged out seasons 6 and 7.
And you just watched it, and is it alluded to that Danny's pregnant? Because I don't remember that.
I don't think so at all. I mean, unless I
she is.
completely missed it.
I'll
I
put
hope
up
she
money
is.
now.
I would.
Are you reading spoilers that have been leaked somewhere?
I am the spoiler.
I swear to God, James.
There's no spoiler. This is.
If Danny gets
You're
pregnant,
going to get more leaks out of the Pentagon than Benioff and Weiss.
Well, I don't know. All I know is I'm very curious about that because I think that is an important part of the story. But anyway, season 2. I don't know. Season 2 is a weird one for me. How would you recap, or what? In a nutshell, what is season 2?
This
to
is what I
you?
want to say. So I knew we were getting ready for this, and I knew I had to binge watch and get prepared and that. And our apologies for not being fully recapped on 6 and 7. We weren't going to. I'm sorry if we missed some things, everybody. But it's a long thing to digest, and so we'll be
we're
ready
trying
for
to do
everything
this
as
in
we get
pieces.
into it. But yes,
Yeah, we wanted to just focus on 1, 2, 3, and now it's very
Yes.
hard to do that now. I'm realizing
yeah.
because it's impossible
tough.
to not connect all the dots.
Sure, and you
so.
have to. But binge watching, so I put it off initially because, God, I have seen season 1 and 2 and 3 so much. We get it. We get
Yeah.
it. And like I was telling you, we'll talk about 5 next week, but 5 I always shed on. I always thought it was the worst season till the 7th. We can discuss that. And then I rewatched 5, and it's one I haven't watched as much, and I loved it. But 1 and 2, I've just seen it all. 2, I always, of the first 3 seasons, I probably would have had 2 as the last. And then I rewatched it. In my head, I didn't like Karth.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up enjoying those scenes quite a bit. I like that. That's where she really gets her stroke as a bad bitch, as a ruler, I think. Her decisions, throwing them in the cask at the end or whatever.
Well, that's when she really starts to be a
A ruler.
ruler.
So-
That's when she really becomes a Khaleesi.
Yes.
That's when she really becomes, Karth. I remember the first time I watched season 2, I was very upset with the House of the Undying. I remember that, and I still feel the same way. I feel like we should be sitting here right now going through all the visions in the House of the Undying. Unfortunately, in
They
the
didn't do them
show,
all.
they decided not to do much of the
Yes.
vision, so it doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
I can't talk. It's hard for book readers sometimes to disconnect from that. It's
No, I
hard
know
for
for-
me to erase the things that
Understandable.
were in the House of the Undying. So I've always had kind of a bone with that. But outside of that, you have Theon completely destroying his life. Season 2, the guy could have been okay, and I get it. He felt upset. He was a Greyjoy disgraced, even though it was never his fault to be a ward of the Starks. And his father shames him. His sister he fills up his sister, and then she comes and tries to give him an olive branch when he's fucking up back in Winterfell.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go. And then he becomes Reek eventually in season 3.
That is something I'll say about season 2 and 3 is, God, you know where it's at, where the story's at now, but you still have a glimmer of hope that these decisions won't be made. I still go, Theon, hang out. Theon, just stay. Don't go, Theon. Don't betray him. Like, you really, I don't
know.
want these
It's
things
hard
to
not
happen.
to.
And you know it is going to happen.
I know. Because
But-
you know his fate. His
Yeah.
fate.
I still love Robb Stark. I don't know what it is. I'm a bastard. I should relate to Jon. Jon's almost like an avatar for all of us. We all have felt like no one has loved us, and we're all misfits and all this, right? And I guess I'm like everyone else. I guess I still want to be the quarterback of the football team. I want to be the pretty boy who gets the pretty cheerleader and throws the touchdown. And that's what Rob was. In the north. That's it.
I hate Rob Stark.
I love him. For
hate
some
him.
reason.
And it made me hate him more. He ruined it. I'm sorry. You're thinking with your dick and you're the king of the north. I'm sorry.
He was in love.
I don't give a fuck if he was in love.
She was cutting bones. God damn it. It's a
Can't
nurse.
you just bang her like every other respectable lord?
So don't marry a nurse?
No! Bang the nurse.
I've dated a few, you know.
It's just so, I can't think of Rob as this like big honorable guy while in the middle of his father was
kid. He's in love.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not saying he's not an attractive guy.
No, but he's a kid. He was in love.
Even though Jon Snow runs laps around what Richard Mattern, is that his name?
He's
Madden,
probably gonna be the
something?
next James Bond.
I don't give a shit. Jon Snow runs laps around him.
Can we do a James Bond podcast, and then I'll read the books, and then I can be like, hey, an Octopussy, the book, blah, 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 blah. I don't even think Octopussy was a book.
I don't really know much about James
Yeah,
Bond.
I want to reverse it on you, dog.
What did I do?
No, I want to be the book person.
Oh, we could do that.
If Marvel redoes X-Men correctly, then we can, you know.
I'll do it. I'll
but
just
that'll
watch
be spread
them,
over 20
and then
years.
you can talk about the reading. I'm not even talking about reading. I'm saying, basically, what Rob Stark does, it derails the entire family.
It does.
Even worse, and your dad was just murdered, and you're thinking about marrying this. It's just, it's
Never
the
lost
worst
the
part of the
battle.
story. And I gotta say,
Lost
the
the
other thing
war.
I'll note about season
Undefeated in the
2
regular season, lost the Super Bowl.
So it means
Basically, it means nothing, yeah.
It means nothing. I will say, one of the things about watching the earlier seasons, you remember just the most disgusting people. Like Melisandre, I can't even stomach her. I can't even watch her. Does she not drive you insane in those early seasons?
Yeah, she gets more tolerable.
The Shadow Baby.
Yeah, she's really. That's a valid point. Is that she's unbearable. A lot of those scenes are a little tough.
Because they mean nothing. They really mean nothing, right? Because none of those pieces of the puzzle are even in it anymore.
But
In the show.
there's dominoes to it, but there's also the Red Woman brings back Jon Snow, which is incredibly important. That scene is my
Sure.
favorite of hers. Yes,
Sure.
Boy, I left the room when that came on yesterday when I watched that episode.
It's funny because now that I'm seeing
Here's
that,
the old woman.
it's funny because Melisandre to me, it's that part of the story where we do get with Jon Snow. Again, I'm going back to books again, and I know that's just
Yeah,
it's
go
terrible.
ahead.
But it's hard to even think about her doing more than that because she hasn't done that in the books yet. So I just don't
But
care.
I mean, it's
I just
so
don't care.
she has a greater good, so it's important that she gets introduced. But once again, that's another scene that angers me, because there's no story if this guy lives. But I always get upset when Renly dies because he was clearly the most qualified of the 5 kings. He had the least claim of any. No
Yeah.
claim. His claim was just like, I would do it better than everyone else. So in real life, if it was a democracy, he'd win the votes. But no, I mean, because you have to just be. I mean, it's related shit, whatever. So, but he would have been the best. He was making peace with the North. He was gonna just say, you guys have the North. I don't care. I'm gonna ask him, King's Landing. You all do your shit, man. And then he gets whacked by the Shadow. Boy, Davos. And then Davos, I think, is going to have a good role. He'll probably die in a wonderful way and do something. He's so... there's so many characters that you rewatch, and you're just so happy that they exist and that they cast these cats. That dude, that character shouldn't be as dope as he is, I don't think. I don't know how great he is in the book, but I'm going to tell you this. The actor is...
amazing.
There's a warmth to him. He's your uncle.
He's
your
great.
dad. He's your best friend. He's everything in these scenes, and I'm rewatching 6 right now, and the way he treats Jon Snow, and he's the best. Onion Knight's my dude, man.
I would be surprised, honestly, if someone's going to live, I might put my money on
You think him?
Davos.
A lot of people think he's gonna get whacked out. Could be the
I
old
don't
man who
really
tells the
know
stories.
What do these people think? I don't care.
Man,
I
I'm
think
in the
that
rumor
if anyone-
circles. My ears to the street, Angel.
I don't trust you right now. I feel like
Yeah.
you're reading spoilers.
Boy, now you
somewhere.
sound like an ex-girlfriend. But look,
Well.
no one's ever said that, guys. I just love humor.
You mean that's not real life?
Who didn't trust me? I usually don't trust them. That's another
it's
story.
probably a good
That's
good
another
idea.
podcast.
A couple of other things from season 2 quickly that were important. John gets captured, so he has his wildling experience, which I think is very important. Obviously,
He popped his cherry.
He pops his cherry. Is that season 2? And I don't think so. That's season 3. That's season 3.
Well,
but
what are
anyway,
you gonna
yeah,
do?
pops his cherry, blah, blah, blah. Gets back
I
with...
popped my cherry in season 2, so yeah, I
Oh.
confused it. Yeah.
It's been a long time now for you.
But
How's it been the last few years?
not being a virgin, amazing.
Awesome. Battle of the Blackwater. Jesus Christ, watching that again.
Best episode.
Fucking awesome.
Probably the best episode.
Battle and Tyrion is just
Inspiring.
inspiring is right. Just all of it was great. And really, Wildfire. You know, if you're talking about things that were notable in the early seasons that become huge plot points later on, the Wildfire was that.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it burns the city to the ground, and all your Tyrells are dead.
Yeah. Rest
Sorry.
in peace, Tyrells.
Yeah.
And my
And
boy
then-
Kevin Lannister.
And then all the shippers are out there saying Jaime and Brienne. You know, the love. I love the love.
There's Brienne and Torment. There's some interesting ones.
Yeah, that's like a comedy duo. Jaime and Brienne, she gets it up for.
No, but
for
Torment's in
Jaime
love,
Lannister.
dog. And he's good at sex. I don't know if you remember that. That's probably in season 2.
Well, if you say you're good at sex, you know what they say about people who say they're good at sex.
Well, I agree.
Yeah, it's probably not that great. Season 3. I know we don't have a lot of time left. We'll give ourselves at least another 5 minutes, right? We can do that in 5 minutes. Let's just fuck all this other shit. Dany gets the Unsullied. She builds her army.
Yeah.
This is when Dany kind of really, we talk about her becoming a leader. Season 3 is when she actually kind of, I feel like, comes into her own a lot more.
And finds what she's about. I mean, I guess she frees the Dothraki initially. Hey, you stay with me or no? But she really finds her groove of, yo, I'm here to get people free. I'm not going to be that kind of a ruler. That's a good thing because that to me, their speculation of that is that there could be a democracy to Westeros when she takes over. So she's going to take it over and be like, look, time to change the system.
Yeah.
She's an interesting, that maybe this is, because, you know, we're going to have all these prequels and all this, but maybe this is the beginning of a new life after this war. And so, and Dany's a huge lightning rod of this change. No slaves. I want to destroy the wheel, right? With the spokes on the wheel. Maybe after the White Walkers war, and maybe it's a new society.
She's the progressive
Yeah,
in this whole situation.
Maybe fast forward, maybe Westeros has an industrial revolution. Who knows? But this could be the end of an old world and old magic and shit. Maybe this is the end of magic, dragons and White Walkers and.
That's a really good point. This would be, if there was odds in Vegas, this would probably be a huge, crazy, long shot underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance this show ends with a fast forward to the future?
I could see,
You know, it comes up on the screen.
So you feel
20
good
years later.
after all the carnage?
10
Sure.
years later.
Yeah.
I
When you see the
guess
babies playing with each other, yeah.
It's kind of the first time I've ever thought about that because I don't know if I'm just resigned to the fact that, not that it couldn't end in a happy ending.
You're not going to feel great.
But that I almost feel like it shouldn't end in a happy ending, which is sad that I say that, but it just doesn't feel like the story for that. It doesn't feel like the kind of story that's going to tie up into a bow.
No.
We talked about it last season on this podcast, which you don't remember.
Yeah, it's 2002.
The thing that I realized, and I was so sad to say it, was that I was actually really happy with Dany and Jon Snow together.
That's nice, yeah.
But I had been saying for 2 seasons, I'd rather die than it become about Dany and Jon Snow because I think it's a really stupid plot line and it shouldn't matter. And then they got me. But I mean, can we really have a way where one of those two doesn't die?
Well, that's where it's going to get important.
Impossible. It's just impossible.
The money shot of this show potentially is going to be one of them either dying for the other or one of them having to kill the other for their greater good. There's a potential of that. Fascinating.
And that goes back to the Azor Ahai.
Yes.
And is that in the show at all?
Yeah.
It is. Azor Ahai.
Yeah, all
Talk
the
about
red
that?
people say it.
Yes.
There's been different ones, yeah.
Yeah. Stabbing through the chest,
Uh-huh.
the whole 9. I mean, he might have to.
Explain that to anyone who's just casual. now.
So basically, Azor
Please.
Ahai, I'm gonna fuck it up. Stabs his loved one through the chest to become the Lord of Brian. I haven't talked about Azor Ahai in so long. Give me
he's
one
the prince
second.
that was promised.
The prince that was
he
promised.
has to stab his loved one. in
Nilla
the heart.
Nilla.
Sword that can
Yes.
kill the White Walkers.
I remember Nilla. He has to stab him through the chest. He's the prince that was promised. Well, like many think that Jon Snow is the
Yes.
prince that was promised, that he would have to sacrifice Dany in order to become the savior of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
right?
And then
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a little rusty.
You're doing wonderful,
It's
my
the
love.
first episode in a year and a half. I can't even believe it's been that long.
First episode since '88. And then the Red
I wasn't
Priest
even
and
born yet.
Priestess. Yeah, I was a kid. In Essos thinks it's her, so anything can happen. And your girlfriend Melisandre, as I like to call the Red Woman, thought it was Stannis and was
Yeah.
wrong. And
Yeah.
Varys liked to remind other Red Women that, oh, she predicted that. How did that work out? He died badly. My boy, the Spider. Yeah, bald guys.
Oh, I gotta say that's one of the treats of the first 3 seasons. Is kind of just reliving Varys.
Criminally underrated. Let me do one more. Criminally underrated. Fucking Grey Worm is something else. It's you're not. It's such a understated character, and secretly awesome, and I enjoy him a lot. It's someone that you just don't ever talk about him, and then you watch it, and you go, "He's such a good character."
Yeah.
What was the issue? Page 93 of the third book. He's a lot more believable.
No,
What's going on?
I mean, I guess in the later seasons, I don't really like when we get derailed about like love stories and stuff, and one that seems so insignificant to the actual overall story of the plot.
No, but love is deeper than having all your matching parts. Your parts actually being what they have to be.
And that's why it's so unbelievable.
No, but that's
because
what's
it's
great
not
about it. Love is beyond.
I know, it's beautiful, but that wasn't in seasons 1 through 3.
All right.
Just saying,
All right,
that
we got
wasn't
4
in
minutes.
that. Theon's dick gets cut off.
That's a big part.
That happens.
Changes his whole story arc.
Changes.
To be quite honest. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
His redemption's an interesting plot line.
You might be able to actually feel sorrow or feel any guilt when your dick is cut off.
Because he
you
was all dick.
scumbag.
He was all cock.
Yeah.
And now he
Yeah.
has no cock.
Yeah.
That was his whole existence. Was big penis, the girls bang him, all this. He's cocky. He's arrogant about his archery and all that. And then once he loses that piece, the emperor has no clothes.
It is very true.
Come on, man.
And you're right.
That's
You're
what
right.
we do, bro.
But finally, I would be remiss to leave out the most important thing, the Red Wedding. And you know what?
It still
It's-
stings.
Always the best. And I will say, as a purist book reader, I bitch about the show. You know I love this show.
Yes.
I bitch about it because I have to. It's the cross they bear because they decided to be a show and not a book. But the Red Wedding is just as impactful in the show as it is in the books. And every time you watch it, it's more. You just
It hurts.
now the feeling. What was when you rewatched it recently?
The
what
wolf
was that
on the
feeling?
head. The Rob's wolf on the
Just-
body. It's just still not good for you.
And all
Hurts
of
your
it.
soul.
And Arya at the gates.
Heartbreaking.
Finally, the Hounds trying to bring her back. I mean, we didn't even talk about Beric Dondarrion and the Brothers Without Banners and all of these different people that are along the way in season 3. But you finally get there. Arya's right there. That's
She comes close several times.
she comes so fucking close. And unfortunately, yeah, your brother's dead. Your mother's dead.
Her story's
Your
fascinating,
father's
yeah.
dead. Your sister's wherever. Does she know at that point in season 3 that Bran and Rakan, she thinks are dead.
Mm-hmm.
So she thinks that Sansa is the only person left in her life.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God.
Or Jon Snow.
Please. Oh, and Jon Snow, her favorite
Yes.
sibling. But I mean, not that she hated Sansa, but they were never particularly close.
And that's what's interesting about what pieces are left.
Yes.
Is that we have to come together. It's so fascinating. I mean,
we do.
not every decision in this show has been perfect,
You know.
and probably in the books. But what we have left on the chess table is so interesting that it's how we gotten to.
It's
And when you rewatch, you see it. And like I said, you still root for some of these other characters. But then you're like, all right, if they were around, it wouldn't be the same story. And that's what's great. The story of, Arya to me and Theon might be the most interesting arcs. And we can touch on it more next week. But just their progressions of where they've gone and where they're going to end up in these next 6 episodes. Very fascinating.
It's crazy to me, all of it. And that's my big takeaway from the first 3 seasons is that no matter what you say about this show, the amount that they do in 3 seasons, and 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Not 12 episodes, right? 10. Is it 12 episodes or 10? 10?
I believe they were
I thought they
12
were 10,
initially.
12.
Yeah.
Were they initially? And then it got expensive. They pack the story is so full. There's so much to it. There's so many different levels. I mean, this was just me taking rough notes on a rundown, and it's just crazy how much you can talk about when it comes to it. But there's more. 4, 5, and 6 are coming up
Next week, everybody.
very soon, and we will be here next Sunday right at this time. Are we doing 10:15? Are we doing 10:05? I can't hear you. 10:30?
10:30, I think, works
It's a
perfect.
good.
10:30
bewitching hour.
p.m. Eastern Time, right on gasdigitalnetwork.com or whatever. Download the app, and we'll be back here recapping that and talking about God knows what, because that's what me and James Mattern do. It was so great to see
What
you
a
again,
pleasure.
James.
And
I
then
love
next
you.
week I'll show my calf. And then you know what?
Oh, where are your calves?
And maybe for the season finale, I'll get a Game of Thrones related tat on a calf. Boy, I like to keep things fresh.
I'd get a Game of Thrones tattoo with you.
It'll be hilarious. All right,
I
that'll be
swear
the
to
last
God, I'll do it.
episode.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next
Good
week.
night. What is dead will never die.